ho ho ho! It's December. Santa's coming to town. Is that Santa's voice? Probably not. And he's bringing 24 riddles for the Christmas season to solve together. Now, let me undress, cause I wanna, I need to be, a respectable person sometimes, not just a clown all the time. Oh, look at this. Ciao, my name is Alessandro, and from today we're gonna be starting our Advent Calendar series where we're gonna solve all the 24 riddles that are in this Exit Advent Calendar. This is the Missing Hollywood Star Advent Calendar, so it is the one that came out in 2024 in English. I believe in German they come out the year before, but I'm not entirely sure of how it works. But this is the most recent Exit Advent Calendar. And if you're familiar with Exit, you're gonna know that this kind of games involve riddles or like logic deduction or just like having very good observation of a lot of things around the box and so on. It's a very interesting concept. It's kind of like having your own escape room inside the box. Well, this year someone went missing on the set of our Christmas movie, and our job as pizza delivery guys is to find the missing actor and understand what happened to them. Were they kidnapped? Were they killed? Probably not. Were they, I don't know, they just disappeared. So as I said, we're gonna go through all the 24 days, and we're gonna start today with day 1, and every day until the 24th of December you're gonna have a video at around midnight European time, and you're gonna be able to play with me and solve riddles together, even though I already solved the riddle and you're just watching it, but at least you can train your brain. I'm super excited for this journey and I can't wait to solve all the riddles. Now today's kind of a warm-up. The video is a little bit longer because I'm gonna read you the introduction story, which is a little bit long, and also I'm gonna explain you very briefly how it works. It's very simple, but then from tomorrow the videos are gonna be like 10-15 minutes maximum. If you wanna follow along this journey, remember to subscribe so that you're gonna have notifications whenever I post a new video every day for the next 24 days. It is time. Let's save the Hollywood star. Now, before we start with the story and we start with the first riddle, I'm gonna explain you very quickly how this works. When we open the calendar in this way, you're gonna find 24 squares. Of these 24 squares, each of them corresponds to one of the 24 days before Christmas, and we see that only one is marked with the number 1. All the others are unmarked. But each of them has a series of symbols that corresponds to them, as you can see here. The game also comes with a storybook, so in the storybook you're gonna have the introduction at the beginning, and then for each of the 24 days you're gonna have a page. This page is gonna give us some hints on how to find the solution to the riddle corresponding to this day. It's also gonna give us some instructions, for example, open door 1, or behind door 1 you will find items, or you're gonna find some cards and so on. Each riddle is very different, so we're gonna see as we go how to proceed and how to interpret these texts and the various cards, items that we find. But what is common for all of them is that we are always finding for a code that has 3 digits. I'm gonna remove now the storybook because I want to show you the decoder table that we have. That is what is going to help us to interpret the 3 digits code into a solution. So what we're gonna do with this 3 digits code is that we're gonna input it into the decoder table. So suppose the solution for day 1 is gonna be 444, then we flip the decoder, and then what we're going to do with this is following the arrows first. So the first arrow tells us down and right, the second arrow tells us up and right, and the third arrow tells us up. So we are assuming this is the solution and basically the second day calendar cell. How can we be sure about it? Well, we need to check. Does moon, star, moon correspond to star, star, moon? Well, Close enough, but not really. So we know that we have done something wrong in the solution of our riddle and we need to keep working to find the correct solution. Every day we're gonna have these schematics where we're gonna find basically how to move on from the previous day to the following day and what is going to be the cell to open on the following day until we find the final solution on the 24th day. Now, a few notes before we start. As you can see, my calendar got damaged during shipping. There are some broken things. Some of the doors are actually open, but I managed to close them kind of as best as I could. So if you see anything weird like that, it's not part of the game, it's part of the delivery process that screwed up my game. Thank you. The second thing is that we're not gonna be as zoomed out for the whole time that we play, because I want you to be able to focus on the storybook and on the cards, so we're gonna be more zoomed in. Anyways, most of the time we don't need to be having the full calendar view available to us, so it's gonna be more detailed. The hints for the games are spread all over the calendar too. So the calendar, for example, let's look at the lid, but as you can see, there are some numbers down here. There's like a decoder here that I know is gonna be useful at some point, and there's basically some stuff in the back for sure. So for example, Thor, Robin Hood, the birds, and so on. So we're for sure gonna be needing a lot of the information also on the box itself. So brace yourself for some more investigation. That's it, let's start with the introduction. And we're ready to read the introduction. Now, this is quite a long introduction, so if you don't wanna hear me narrating the whole introduction, you can skip looking at the timestamps in the description below or in the chapters of this video, directly to the chapter where it says start of day 1. Otherwise, let's dive right in. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Bells out from the radio as you drive your pizza delivery car through the festively decorated streets of Los Angeles. The traffic is worse than usual, and that's saying something. It seems as if the entire city is out on the roads. Maybe early Christmas shoppers. As you are driving at a snail's pace, you have time to take in the roadside scenery. Two children press their noses flat against the window of a board game shop. A store Santa rings his golden bell on a street corner, in shorts. Nothing unusual about that when it's 20 degrees in the shade. You've been living in California for a while now, but you're still not quite used to the climate. When you arrived in Los Angeles a few years ago, you were full of big dreams. Hollywood, world of the stars, birthplace of enchanting illusions and timeless classics. Your future path was always clear to you, and full of enthusiasm, you jumped straight in. Tirelessly, you took part in one casting call after another, deeply convinced that one day someone would recognize your acting talent and give you the chance of a lifetime. You laughed bitterly. Well, that one day is yet to happen, and casting directors don't seem to see your talent the way you do. Anyways, as the perfect role has so far eluded you, you keep your head above water, like so many others, by working odd jobs. The reason you were reminiscing so much about your acting dreams today has to do with your next delivery destination. You have to admit, when the pizza order came in, your heart did skip a beat. Delivered to the Werner Sister Studios of all places. How exciting! Everyone in Los Angeles knows the address of this legendary film studio. Best-selling international blockbusters are regularly produced here, with all-star casts. That's not all. The extensive grounds also serve as a kind of film museum. It is the home to sets of all-time classic films, including lots of original props. You have visited the Werner Sister studio for casting calls once or twice. Even if nothing came of it at the time, you at least know the area a little and are able to find the correct set pretty much right away. The entrance gate is half open and a large sign hangs on the door. Absolute silence, filming! Below it, someone has pinned a handwritten note. Please put pizza next to the director chair. Money will be transferred. You realize you had the delusional hope of being able to speak to someone here, maybe to get an autograph or at least see a few celebs. You enter the set and are surprised to find it is deserted, or at least filming is not currently taking place. They must be on a break. You look around curiously. The scenery indicates a remake of a classic in the style of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. A historic-looking street with a cozy old pub is fronted by a huge, festively decorated Christmas tree. Artificial snow is falling everywhere. Someone must have forgotten to turn off the machines. Even though you know this is just a set, you can't help but be filled with Christmas spirit. The set designers have done a really great job. However, the fact that the place is deserted seems strange to you. Even when there's a break, there should still be umpteen people scurrying around, checking camera angles and lights, getting props ready, giving final instructions to the cast. Shrugging, you place the pizza boxes as requested next to the Rex's chair. Suddenly, the gate closes behind you with a dull bang and you hear the lock click shut. You look around, startled. You're definitely uneasy. Maybe you'd better get out of here. You are just about to leave when you hear a strange teeny voice speak hesitantly over the loudspeakers. Hello? Can you hear me? Good. Okay, listen, you have to trust me. We have very little time. I have a huge favor to ask of you. Confused, you look around. Do they mean you? The voice sounds distorted, yet somehow familiar to you. It is a famous actor or director? After all, this would be the obvious place to meet a star. You listen spellbound and try to remember when and where have you ever heard this voice before. So there's a huge problem, the person continues. We are in the middle of shooting a new Christmas blockbuster, but it looks like the main character is missing. They seem to have disappeared. Nobody knows what has happened to them. Maybe we should assume the worst. It's quite possible that our star has been kidnapped and is being held against their will somewhere. One thing is certain though. The voice breaks off too briefly, as if they can't believe what they are going to say next. You've got to help. Do you understand? Most likely the missing star is still somewhere on site. Search the film set and bring them back in time or the Christmas movie will be ruined, at the very least. Completely dumbfounded, you sink into the Rex's chair. Oh yes, adds the voice. Rather annoyingly, you'll find the doors to the film sets are locked for security reasons. However, there are clues in each room to help you figure out the door codes. Good luck! You exhale audibly. Then the loudspeaker crackles one last time. Oh, feel free to grab a pizza, you'll need it, on the house. Then the connection finally breaks off. You can hardly believe what you just heard, and believe even less that this news was actually meant for you. There must be some mix-up. Perhaps you are just in the wrong place at the wrong time and you should get out of here. Hop in your pizza delivery car and drive off. Then again, there is nobody here but you, so if there is actually a real problem, then the responsibility now lies with you. Maybe you should help, you ponder. Your pizza shift is over anyway. This was your last delivery for today. You think about what awaits you at home. A small, drab apartment and boring evening on the couch. What's happening here, on the other hand, feels like an adventure. Obviously, the chance to look around different film sets is also extremely tempting. Looking around the set again, you suddenly spot footprints in the artificial snow. Were those there before? The footprints look huge. Who or whatever passed through here must be very large. Your gaze follows the prints to the back wall of the Christmas backdrop. What on earth is that? There's an enormous hole in it. Something must have broken through there with considerable force. Did this creature maybe abduct the star? Gosh, then they really would be in great danger. Given the damage to the backdrop, you doubt the perpetrator would handle people very gently. You rise resolutely from the director's chair. Quickly put one of the pizzas into your backpack and head toward the hole in the wall. You need to rescue the missing star. Of that, you are in no doubt. Are you ready? Continue reading the calendar sheet, 1st December, and begin the first riddle. So we set aside the story and we go back to our storybook and we open it to 1st of December. 1st December, with a feeling of slight unease, you climb through the hole in the studio wall. Hello? Is anyone there? You call out timidly. But the set seems deserted, nobody answers. You can hardly see anything. The room is lit weakly by emergency lights, but you spot a shining flashlight on the floor. It seems someone has left it behind. You quickly pick it up. It could come in handy. You look around and see floor-to-ceiling shelves full of film rolls. Wow! If you are not mistaken, you are in the legendary Werner Sister Studio archives. If only you had a little more time. It would be amazing to browse here in peace. Of course, that's out of the question at the moment. By the glow of the flashlight, you discover several rolls of film lying around on the floor. Some rolls are stacked in tottering towers, some seem to have been randomly pulled off the shelves and distributed around the room. Someone, or something, either stormed through here in a hurry or was looking for something. You can't shake the feeling that the rolls of film lying around have some meaning, as if someone was desperately trying to leave a clue or some kind of trail. Was it the missing star? Now open door 1, behind you will find 5 strange item film reels. Also we have A Christmas Carol number 6 with this drawing. Every time you should also look behind the paper if there's anything, but usually it would tell you to look at the other side. We can tear day 1 and we can remove the storybook for now and we're gonna focus on this. Let's take back the calendar and let's look what is behind door 1. Here it is, door 1, let's open it. It is open now and we find that all. Yes. So we are finding these 5 strange items, which is the 5 film reels. So we can probably just detach them. And here we have it, the 5. They have different sizes. We know we have like 6 is the biggest one. Then we have 1, which is the smallest one. 4, Batman. Then we have Robin Hood. No, Thor, Robin Hood, and the birds. This is the sequence. Now, every time you open one of the doors, actually, it would be good to have a look inside the room to see if there's any hints. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Let's have a close-up look inside the room. This is what we see inside the door. In the wall that we're facing, there doesn't seem to be anything relevant. At the bottom, there's just a flashlight with like some film reels. On the right door, on the right side wall, there is nothing much, but there seems to be like something on the left side, but it's just a small drawing of something. Let's see if I can actually look at it a little bit better. Aha. It says code and it says from bottom to top. So that's something definitely useful. So from bottom to top, so from largest to smallest. So let's go back to our reels and see what we have. So this is what we have. We have the birds should be at the bottom, Robin Hood on top, Thor on top, Batman, and then exit the film on top. Now this is 5 digits code, so how do I get a 3 digits code out of this? I have to tell you that it's very good to inspect the box before you start playing this game, because I've seen something resembling these reels on the back of the box, so let's see if that helps. And here it is, see? We have something like the birds, Robin Hood and Thor, so I'm just gonna assume maybe this is the actual code, 825. From bottom to top, and let's see if this makes any sense. Actually, we have also exit the film here, which is number 1, so I'm not really sure, but it doesn't show here number 1. And we also need to remember that there's like this A Christmas Carol, this star, that is a 6. So probably I'm not on the right track already. And this is already harder than I thought it would be. So this is like, is this? Yeah, that's the biggest. And then we have 6, 8, 2, 5, 4, 1, and this is how they stuck together. So this is the first riddle and I'm already confused because I've tried both, like looking at the back of what we saw before and inputting that code, or trying to do like the 6, 8, 2, because they are the bottommost, because it says code goes from bottom to top, as we saw in the image inside. So, and none of these works, so I'm not sure what I have to do here. Aha, I see. There is something that if you basically like align, there are some drawings, so if you basically align this to here, there should be a drawing showing up. I can see like this already, like the Batman drawing probably. Then I'm going to align the next one, which is this one, and I think it's going to go something like this. Yes. And the Batman is showing even more, and I have no idea what this is, but we're gonna see. It must be one of the other symbols, right? So let's try with the aligning the 5. So we have this. Okay. And what is this showing? Is it like, I don't know. Then we're going to align the 4. So the 4 is probably gonna go like so. Okay, this is kind of a star. This is kind of a star, I understand. That's a star. That's the Batman. And then we're gonna have, yeah, this is the star. I hope you can see it good enough. So this is kind of a star symbol, which is very bad, but I can understand. This is the Batman, and I have no idea what this is, but we're gonna have to buy It's not the Batman, it's not the exit symbol, it's not Thor. Is it Robin Hood? No, I don't think so. It might be the birds. It is definitely the birds. So we know that the code goes from bottom to top, so it is 6, 8, since we had the image of the birds, and then the Batman, so 6, 8, 4. Now, before we check this code with our decoder, I want to remind you that if you like this video, you can leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and even enable notifications for all the videos that I'm gonna upload, because maybe you wanna follow along with this series, and I would be extremely grateful. It would make me insanely happy. You can consider it your Christmas gift to me, you know? Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's try if this code actually works. So 684 instead of 2. And what we're going to do is, starting from this number 1, we go down right here. Then we go right. And we're gonna see star, this Y symbol, and a circle. Found it. So this means we solved the riddle, and that was a bird, even if it was very questionable. Sorry about that. I'm gonna touch the picture here of the actual drawings, so you can understand it by yourself if it was too small to see. And now what we're gonna do is write number 2 here, which means this is the door number 2, and we're gonna open it tomorrow. Okay, so we successfully solved day 1 of this advent calendar. What a journey. Like, it has been pretty tough. Like, to be day 1, it is actually a little bit tough. I was completely thrown off by looking at the back of the box, because I don't know, I've seen something before. I inspected the box before starting to play, because I know the box is very important in this kind of games and you need to be careful. If you want to follow along with me, you're gonna find the link to day 2 if it's already out at the end of this video, and you're also gonna find the link to the playlist with all the episodes that came out so far. It was challenging for sure, but thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked it, and I hope you follow along this journey with me, and see you back tomorrow. Ciao ciao!